Hello! Today we will learn how to make a list using SQL query. So today is something about low code, something for low code enthusiasts when they like to write the code inside. Although our platform NAVIGATOR365 is a no code platform, but we can easily extend its possibilities with a code. So to make a list using SQL is very simple. I will go into the system application where we have basic settings for users and accounts and settings of our system. And if I go into back office, we have lists here we have already created using SQL. For example, if I go into active scheduled processes, you see we have this statement of SQL here to actually create a list. And again, we have the waiting documents list here. So we have prepared all these important lists for you already. So once you getting the system for yourself, you receive all this ready to use. Even though you don't know how to write an SQL query and you just want to use it as a no-code, it's already prepared for you, so you don't have to. Now, it's great to know how to do it, however. So if I create a new list, and it will be a list of waiting documents, then in here, instead of data source forms, I will use SQL. Now in here, in this section, we just basically input some SQL. I have just pasted the one we prepared before, and for those who can actually read this statement in SQL, it creates the list based on the information from many different tables in our system. Now if I press save, then the system generates columns, and the things you need to know is that there are some things you can or cannot do with these columns. First of all, you cannot add any new column because you would have to do it through the statement in SQL. Secondly, you can, as in other lists, you can move the columns whenever you would like to see them. Now, also, what's important that you can have some visible and not visible. Exactly the same is it works exactly the same and in other lists we create in a system based on forms. Now, if I go inside of the column, then we can change things in here. I will, for example, change this name, as it would be much better looking if I have application ID in here. Now, for example, created at is created the column at the beginning as a text type. So we need to remember that when creating the SQL list, we need to change this data type. So the created at is a date and time. So again, we change this one and we press save. Also, we can change this column to the integer type, as this is a number, and this will be user ID, and also created at and updated at is date and time. Right, so now we move them a little bit like this, and user ID here, document here, and this created date here. Okay, now switch off some of the columns and press save. now have a look how it is when it's when the list is created. So see how it is. Show list. Right. So we have this application ID and document, and user ID is now an integer created. This a date, and also one last thing I want to show you, that you can actually create a link to go inside of this document straight away. So again, I go into the lists, list of waiting documents, into columns, and the document I will add hyperlink to go to the document in the view mode, and I want to have it as a pop-up. So now if I save the list again and go to see how it looks like, show list, now you can see that we have this list of waiting documents, and for example there are some requests approval or submit application for a campaign of the document, and I can straight away go inside of this document with a pop-up. This is how you create the list using SQL. It's extremely easy to paste, however it would require some knowledge of how to actually write the statement in SQL. Please check other tutorials we have, for example how to make lists without the code, for no code, and this would be it for today. Thank you.